so many things that have happened within your life and journey as well. So I really appreciate you sharing that
Yeah,
with
I mean,
us
and the
today.
other day, I hired somebody that has not the other day, but I would say like a while ago, I hired somebody that had been fired before.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And, the question comes up of like, well, why would you hire somebody that's been fired? And it's like, of course I want to hire someone that's been fired. It's like that experience and that the humility and the understanding that's going to come from that process is incredible. And the reasons for getting terminated are important. Like, is it for
Yeah.
something illegal
Yeah.
or something? But it was
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was more like of a fit situation or a culture situation. And, like people who have been through real experiences, I think are far better at handling new complex situations because of their experience, because of their breadth or the things that they've gone through. They know how to put stuff into perspective. So it's not the end of the world when something happens. It's like we can handle this. This is okay. This isn't that big of a deal. And when you don't have that experience, everything is kind of frightening, and it raises everybody's anxiety level up. And especially when you have a leader that's afraid and worried about, either proving themselves or not making a mistake, or of actually facing adversity and like how they respond to it with a lot of worry and concern and like anger, or of fight or flight type stuff. It raises everybody's anxiety level in the whole team, and you stop functioning as well. So I like to hire people who have had life experiences, who have been through some stuff. And I'm not afraid of somebody who's been fired before. I actually think that that's kind of a badge of honor. It's like, okay, you got your badge. And there's a lot of those types of badges, like having a terrible boss,
Yeah.
I think is a good badge. It's like, okay, you learned something about yourself, like how much you're willing to tolerate, or how to evaluate the quality of a manager. Those are all really positive things. And so situationally, I think that you're better at dealing with other adversity because of those things. So it's like finding people like that is part of the technique, I think. Like, can you find those good people?
And the life experiences which teach us the most.
Right.
Yeah, again, I hope and wonder why we don't see more of it, and I hope there is more of it, because again, when I work with leaders, sometimes they'll come to me and they say, I've left, for example, I've left Amazon, but their biggest work is, how do I explain I left that company? And I'm like, let's tell them the truth. They say, oh, no, 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 you you can't tell the employer the truth. I'm like, no, the true truth of what you have gained in that experience will speak more than the hesitation they may have. But again, Pat, where you are as a leader, you have very human-centered approach. And I was actually, as you were saying this, is there a book in making? I think there is a book the world needs from you. Are you
Well,
thinking of a book?
I don't know. Let me start off with just like a few LinkedIn posts here and there and see if I could do it. Like I think the series of like how to be happy at work is like the closest that I could come to thinking of like a set of chapters, maybe. So that is kind of like a little bit of a test to see like, is there a series, that people would be interested in? And I'm really interested to see if people are interested in like the 15th post, because like it's easy to get the novelty of like one post is really popular sometimes, but is the series interesting? Because I think a book is like, it's a big commitment nowadays to read a book, and it has to say something interesting in it. So in a way, like whether people are interested in these ideas over a period of time or a series gives me some indication that maybe some of those ideas would be useful, but we'll see. I don't know.
I feel like there's one coming soon. It because there's just so much wisdom you have, and it will be brilliant to see your book on the shelves. And
Well, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
as we end today's interview, the world is changing very fast. people are worried about AI. The innovation is outpacing, how humans are responding to it. What's your message to the upcoming leaders and even new people who are joining workforce?
Well, interesting. I was talking to a professor at Harvey Mudd College just yesterday about innovation in AI and how he could create programs to help the students at Harvey Mudd embrace this. And my key message back was like, AI is a tool that you have to have fluency in. You have to. It is the most important breakthrough in my lifetime for sure. Other than, I mean, there have been many, mobile, cloud computing, I mean, you go down the list, big data. There have been many, but I would say AI is probably the most interesting to me. And we're lucky to be living through this time, but we do need to adapt. But like all human endeavors, it's like, how do we use this tool? But it's just a tool. It's not a solution. It's a tool. So how we apply it as humans, as in our work or as in our science, I think that that's the key thing. Is applying it is something that we have control over, and it's something that you can be much more productive in doing things. Like the other weekend, I was able to write a tool that it would have taken me a month to figure out how to do, and I could do it in a weekend, and I could actually produce something that had meaningful results in a short amount of time. But you just imagine like applying that to taking that to a, I even think that my first 5 years at Microsoft, like when we were there, I think you could have replaced me now by AI, like 100%. Maybe not the human part of it, maybe not the mentorship, but I think a lot of my actual work could have been replaced. So I think that, smart people need to integrate new technology and new stuff into their tool belt. And AI is a great tool for doing all kinds of things. And we should be, exploiting it. So like people that are just joining the workforce, I would say definitely get fluency in AI, use it, use the APIs, go build things, go try things and push the limits of it. Find out where OpenAI falls over, figure out where Claude doesn't do a good job, where Gemini fails. And like, you don't have to use the tools that much. And especially coming from somebody, if you love software, it's kind of like you're figuring out the edges of things, and you'll find the edge of something where it either doesn't work correctly or hallucinates or something. But I think getting fluency allows you to apply things. And it's like when you see a problem that, like, let's say a transformer model would really be good for, like all of a sudden it's like, yes, that I know how to solve that problem because now I can use an LLM for that, or I could use an image creation, a GAN for that. So I would say fluency is the biggest thing, and to not wait for the future to be here. I mean, the future is here right this second, and to start diving in.
And with that invitation, we are going to end today's podcast. Really, really appreciate, Pat, you being here. It's just been such a joy reconnecting with you and having this conversation today.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you so much for reaching out to me. I mean, it's a real pleasure to rejoin after literally 20 something years. And it's great to see your success and your podcast and all the things you've done since then. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Pat.